Andrew Whitworth, Super Bowl champ and Walter Payton Man of the Year. And now he's officially retired. Andrew joins us on the program. Andrew, thanks for joining us. Did you know during the Super Bowl that was your last game?
I knew kind of going into the playoffs that was probably going to be the last run I was going to get to make. I knew the body was starting to talk to me a little bit, finally starting to feel 40. So I knew it was a pretty good chance this is probably the last run I'm going to make.
But when does it hit you where you go, this is it? I'm retired. Or has it hit you?
It really hadn't hit me yet. I mean, I'm still training with the guys. I think we've talked about before, the O-line trains at my house a little bit in the off season. So I'm still working out with them and hanging out with them and doing all that. But I'm definitely done. This is it. I'm not playing anymore right up until about a month from now when I tell you differently.
Yeah, but Brady said the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the point. I mean, I don't, and that's what's wild is it's not really a physical decision. I mean, yeah, you start to feel it a little bit as far as it's more pain than normal. But right now, do I think I could get through another NFL season? Without a doubt. I just think that a lot of the things I set out to accomplish in my career, I've been able to do. And I got some awesome kids and a great wife at home that I'd love to go spend some more time with and watch them play sports and watch them live their lives a little bit. And I think that's just kind of where I'm at.
What was your favorite moment in the huddle from the Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford?
There's so many. The guy's so rare. He has such a rare demeanor about him when he competes. It's so fun to be in that huddle with him. He's just a gunslinger and a guy who just wants to go after it at every moment and just attack. And really just in that game, really him being in that huddle throughout the game, really in the adverse times and then also in that last drive, the demeanor he had of like, we're going to make this happen, I thought was so special. And then honestly, when he got in that huddle and just tried to tell us that we were going to take a knee to end that game, I can remember how emotional he was. And he went to talk. And instead of talking, he just looked at everybody in the huddle and was like, I love you guys. And then he just, then it was like, all right, ready, break. Like, what we're about to do. We're taking a knee. We won't even talk about it. It was really cool to see how much emotion was there of really what he'd realized that he had accomplished.
So it hit him then that he was finally going to be a Super Bowl champ and he couldn't get the words out?
Yeah, you could tell it just for a second. He looked in the huddle, he looked in those eyes. And that's the coolest part, right? I mean, when you play football, there's all these great moments that happen individually and all the passion that goes into it. But when you look across that huddle at the guys you get to do it with, sometimes those moments are the most emotional because you realize, man, we all did this together. We've all strained. We've all fought through things together, all kinds of adversity. And we're about to take this knee to end this game and be world champions. And it just kind of hits you what it all.
I was wondering if you felt sorry for the Bengals offensive line during the Super Bowl going against Aaron Donald.
I feel sorry for every team that has to play Aaron Donald. I mean, that guy is he's one of the rarest humans on the planet, man. His work ethic and attitude is really what sets him apart. He has all these insane physical traits that make you special, but there's a lot of guys walking around that in this league that have been drafted with a lot of talent. He takes advantage of that talent with his work ethic and his demeanor every day to attack success. It's second to nobody I've ever been around and quite impressive. I mean, I remember going in a week after the Super Bowl to the facility to grab like my stuff. I'm still barely can get it together. I've been partying and having so much fun. And Aaron Donald's just pounding weights and running in the gym. And I'm like, this guy's not going anywhere.
What did you keep from the Super Bowl?
What's that?
What did you keep from the Super Bowl? You keep
everything. You name it. Yeah, held on to it all. And I you know what? I didn't even wash my jersey. I literally left it with all the stains it had on it. I'm going to eventually, wash it off a little bit just so it doesn't smell. But I want all the war paint on it. I don't want any, let's leave all the paint on there. And I want it to look like it played in that last game and had the time that I know I did.
Do you have neighborhood dads who want to try to rush you and see if you can block them?
Well, Dan, it's one of those things. It never fails. Being big, it's like I've heard every big joke possible, and it's like it's just constant. It's like, oh, man, come up with something original and I'll actually laugh. I like to give them kind of the stone cold face, Dan, just when they when they literally, like, if it's not a good joke or it's one I've heard before, I just stare at them. And then it makes it really awkward because they're like, well, I thought that was going to be funny, but he's not laughing.
I was also wondering about this. As a lineman, you don't get to see much of the game. Like, you're focused on the guy in front of you. Have you ever gone back to look at the game to actually see what the game, because you could be down on the ground on a pass play. You don't even know what happens.
Yeah, it's the truth. It's one of those things I always tell a lineman when I mentor him, hey, look, man, you're one of the rarest athletes in the world. You're the only athlete in the world that plays with the ball behind your back. Like, your back's to the ball the entire game. You don't ever know what's happening other than when it runs by you. So it's a pretty rare position. So yeah, I mean, for me, that's the funnest part, right? It's go back and watch the game and be like, all right, I want to see every little intricacy of how a guy got open or how a running back made the cut or, a pass that Stafford threw. I mean, the first time people started talking about his no-looker to Cooper there late in the game against the Bengals, this is the first time I saw it too. So it's unbelievable.
Your favorite Sean McVay story is going to be what?
Oh, man. There's so many. I mean, him and I, obviously, with our relationship, there's a lot of really special ones, a lot of fun times we've had. I think really for me, it's going to be that I think the coolest part of what made Sean McVay really the build up to who he is, as I tell people this a lot, when we started OTAs his very first year, a 30-year-old coach who you would think needs to come in and show guys that he knows football at a really rare level to be where he is. And you'd think that the first thing you're going to do is talk about football. And I can remember our first 3 or 4 weeks of OTAs, we focused on the words character, communication, performing at an elite level, being at your best when your best is required, just typical things that have to do with who you are as a person day in and day out and how you do things the right way. And I thought that took a lot of gumption to be able to do that as a 30-year-old. But also it set the standard for why he's created the culture he has in the Rams and why it's such a special place to play.
But it feels like he's this close to wanting to put on a uniform to prove that he could play, right?
Yeah, look, there's plenty of moments of Sean hurting himself trying to be a receiver, pulling quads and everything else. He never fails to miss an opportunity to kind of show us that he still has a little something in there. But it's only lasts for about a second, 2 seconds. It's just a quick little step here or there. So there's plenty of those moments. Hey, he without a doubt always thinks he's got a helmet on when we're out there.
Well, congrats, and perhaps we'll cross paths on a golf course with some mutual friends there.
I look forward to it. I can't wait. I'm going to be spending a little bit of time on those too.
Thank you, buddy.
Hey, thank you.
Andrew Whitworth won the Super Bowl. He played 16 seasons, and he was the Walter Payton Man of the Year.